Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. We're working on a C6 Corvette today, so I thought I would share some information on hard clear coat. And I've shared a few videos on Corvette's hard clear coat, and some of them were really beat up and scratched and swirled. This one here just needs to be freshened up, so I thought I would share that process with you here today in this rather longer video for this channel, but we're going to give it a shot. What we're looking to remove today, and I hope this is showing up on the camera, very light swirling and water spots from very small water droplets. They're rather hard to see, but when you put everything together, it really dulls the surface of this vehicle, and we're going to remove those before protection today. The car has already been washed, decontaminated, clayed, all that jazz, and by now you should know exactly how that process goes. So we're going to pick up where I left off there. And we're going to have detox from Ethos. That's going to be to remove any old waxes or sealants or any greasy or oily surfaces on the car before protection. Because as I like to mention, before protection I'll do this so my pads aren't picking that kind of stuff up, clogging the pads, making them less effective. So you just douse each panel from top to bottom and then wipe off, and it also evaporates while you're wiping it off, so it makes it a rather quick process. Now that the clear coat has been cleaned of any old oils or waxes and residues, we could start the test panel. And even though I may be familiar with this finish and a lot of other finishes, I'll still do a test spot. You never know what can creep up on you. This is Kachkemi F601. This is their mid-tier correcting polish. This could be used as a one-step. It's pad dependent. We're going to team it up with the Eurofiber 50/50 pad. And this was the polish I had in mind when I laid eyes on the car and its imperfections. After you've been doing it for quite some time, paint correction, you can walk up to a car, look at its finish and the imperfections, and come up with a team, a combination of compounds, polishes, pads, and tools or polishers to get the job done. This is what I had in mind. Let's see how this works. As I bring you guys around and we can take a closer look and use the shop light for reference, you can see that the minor imperfections and also the water spots, they are gone. And when you get a clear coat as hard as this, using the microfiber pad, the Eurofiber 50/50 pad, you can almost get a finished painted surface where you can protect after that step. I'm going to go around and I'm going to remove the imperfections, and then I'll make a call later if I need to follow up with a finishing polish and a less aggressive pad. But this looks good so far. So let's do another spot with something a little bit less aggressive, just to be completely sure, because you always want to use the least aggressive method necessary. So let's tape off another spot. Okay, so let's go down the scale a little bit to something less aggressive, M302. This is their micro cut finishing polish without protection. They make one with protection. I believe it contains carnauba. We're not going to need that today. So we'll team that up with a less aggressive pad as well. That is a Rupice Ultrafine DA pad. Let's give this a shot. As we come around to take a look, actually, this combination did not do bad at all. Some stuff left behind, some light swirls, light scratching, but it did well. We're going to go back to our original combination that we tried on the hood, and we're going to continue on with that. So this is what we're going to go with, the Kachchemi F601, a Eurofiber 50/50 pad, and that is attached to a polisher that has a 15mm throw. Now, before we get started with the correction, let's do a little bit of preserving some of the plastic trim. I do this. I've been doing it for years. We're going to protect the convertible top. I always tape off these areas. You never know. I could get distracted by a customer walking in or a phone call, and the backing plate or the pad bumps up against some of the trim. And rather than paying to get the trim repaired or replaced, I'll tape it off and protect it. It's subjective, but this is what I prefer. This is 3M precision tape. It's, this, if I can ever get the camera to focus right, you'll see exactly what it is. You can get it from Amazon and some other places, even local parts stores. This has a low profile, so even if you have it flat on the paint and you run your polisher up over it, it will not lift an edge and transfer the adhesive from the tape onto your pad, and that's just a disaster. So I'm going to protect all of the plastic trim and some of the convertible top, and there are emblems. I'm going to protect the corners of the emblems as well. With that out of the way, we can cover the wheels. They're clean, they're protected, and we don't want any of the splatter from the correction getting an area we just spent all that time perfecting dirty, and we have to go over it again. So we'll just walk around. It won't take long to put the covers on the tires and the wheels, and we can continue on with our correction. And you can see the emblems, they're protected as well, the plastic trim. And we can finally start the correction process. And for those that think detailing is quick and easy, I can tell you it took 3/4 of the day to get to this point, with two of us working on it. It's a long process. It is a good reason why I put these videos up on YouTube, not just for you guys, but for also customers as well that really don't realize the work, the time, and the effort that's put into some of these projects. So let's get the correction started, and it shouldn't take us long to get around the car. We're working from top to bottom, and since this is a convertible, the highest and utmost part of this vehicle is the hood and the trunk. That's what we'll start with. Work our way down to the bottom of the car and all the way around. We have the polisher set on the third or fourth speed setting. Pressure equal to firm handshake, if that makes sense. And we're doing correction speed, so an inch or two every second or two. And you definitely don't want to build up heat, so do one pass, which is it's equal to a crisscross pattern. Wipe off the residue and check your work. That'll give time for the panel to cool down. We want to keep in mind that the 3 layers of base coat, primer, and clear coat are made of different materials, so we don't want to heat one little section of a hood that's room temperature up to 150 degrees or higher. It's a lot of stress on each layer that will expand with heat in different directions. So keep that in mind. Looking good so far, but before we get everything corrected, I want to show you where we're starting. It's going to be the mid 80s, somewhere around there. Now we're shooting for somewhere in the triple digits, as I always do. So we'll see. We have a long way to go, but let's get our way around the car. Cleaning up the etching and the hard water spots, the stains from them, is really going to make a big difference. The only thing we're going to change now and again is as we get to the bumpers and the lower part of the vehicle with the air dams and spoilers of some of these vehicles. We're going to change polishers, and we'll go to a 3-inch, and that better serves the curvy areas and the tight spaces, such as this right here, in and around emblems. For in and around tight areas and to hug the emblems, we're going to break out the rotary and attach the mini polisher to the rotary. Still using F601 and a pad that's comparable to the one we're using for the rest of the car. And we're going to get as close as we can to that emblem and make a nice even correction.
Hi there, Junior here. I am continuing on where my dad left off. He finished the front and rear bumper as well as the hood. All I have to do is continue from here to the other side on the other vendor. You also want to make sure that you clean your pads with each pass so that it remains effective. I'm wiping all of this residue with the Eagle Edgeless microfiber. Quick tip, if you are working on a soft clear instead of this hard, stubborn clear, you could polish the whole passenger side, then come back and wipe off the polished residue. This would give the surface time to cool and the swell will reside. Never use an IPA on a panel that has just been polished and the temps are spiking. Wait for the panel to cool first. Back here around the taillights, switch to a smaller polisher to fit the contours and give your customer complete paint correction. If you are new to polishing, you can use masking tape to protect corners, peaks, and body lines to prevent from polishing through the clear coat. Don't forget the lowest panels of the vehicle. Elevate if you must. Be prepared to spend time on your back and sides. Very uncomfortable. Oh, would you look at that? We've gone around the whole car while I was just going on and on. I'll pass it to my dad now.
With the finish restored and looking better now than when it rolled off the assembly line, we can preserve it, we can protect it, and we want to remove the residue and any oils left over from the correction process so the coating we choose can bond to it properly. The customer can get the most out of it. We're using Ethos Detox today to get the clear coat naked before protection, and it won't take long at all to get around the car. Just douse each panel from top to bottom and wipe off with a nice new plush microfiber. The protection of choice for this particular package is going to be Ethos Ceramic Matrix Coating. Ethos SiO2 coating provides weather, chemical, UVA, and UVB protection while repelling water. Easy to use, designed to be used by the professional, the enthusiast, and the driveway detailer all the same. This is a 3-year coating, and how it goes beyond that will depend on your prep and also the maintenance after the coating has cured. And just like any other coating, we're going to do a crisscross pattern without lifting the applicator to ensure we have even coverage across each panel, starting from the top and working our way down to the bottom. This coating is easy, very easy to apply. You can easily apply to half the hood, then grab 2 microfibers. Use one to just lightly go over the area and spread out the product even more, and it'll pick up pretty much of that transfer solution. Follow up with the second microfiber to buff to perfection. No problems wiping off the coating, no drag on the towel, no tackiness. And to ensure you don't have high spots, a quick tip, pull the car outside. It's even better if it's a cloudy day. If the sun's out, pull into a shaded area and you'll see the high spots very easily. The first person view here will hopefully show you, and hopefully this comes across the camera, just how easy this is to use. The gloss is insane already, and as the vehicle cures throughout the next 7 to 10 days, that will only increase slowly. So you can use the product on just about all exterior surfaces on the car, painted surfaces, headlights, taillights, trim. Just continue this process all the way around the car, depending on the size of the vehicle, anywhere from 40 minutes to an hour. Another area we want to preserve and protect for this customer is the convertible top, and this is a cloth top. So we're going to protect and mask all surrounding areas first. Geon Fabric Coat will be the protection of choice for this material, and we're going to mist on 3 layers. Don't forget about the tires. We can coat them as well. Luxury Microfibers Tire King will take care of that. Plastic trim protection on this vehicle was added to this package last minute, so we're going to take care of that, and we're going to use the Cerakote plastic trim. I've been going back and forth between that and G-Technique C4, and with the vehicles coming back, I could tell you the Cerakote trim coating has held up the best so far. All the hard work is complete, and we just let it cure properly. It's going to be 24 hours cure time before the customer can drive away. If it's nice. If not, we can let it sit longer. The extra cure time will benefit the coating in the long run. As always, we're always shooting for triple digits on the gloss meter when the vehicle is leaving, and that will only increase as the coating cures. And we're right there in the ballpark where we want to be. We're happy, and we hope the customer is happy as well. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. We do have some videos showing some real deep imperfections on hard, stubborn, clear coat. You can revert back to those. I just wanted to show how you can kind of freshen up a paint job with very minor imperfections here, and we used this, this package here to show that. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Brian from Apex Detail and Brian Jr. from Apex Detail will catch you in the next video.